Once again, good morning, or if you're joining for the first session, good morning for the first time. I continue to be Joe from ACFO, and it's my pleasure to be running you through these town hall sessions this morning, this virtual career fair as part of our spring tune-up week. Our next guests are with us from Shared Services Canada. I know a lot of people already know a lot about shared services, but they're here to convince you that it's the place to be if you're an FI. Just as a reminder, as we'll be doing throughout the week, we are taking questions via Slido. So if you've got questions for our friends from Shared Services, just go to slido.com, that's SLIDO.com, and enter the code ACFO-ACAF, and you can submit your questions, and we'll have plenty of time for questions today from our friends from Shared Services. But you're not here to listen to me, you're here to listen to folks like Wendy. So I'm going to throw it over to Wendy from Shared Services, and she's going to tell you a little bit about what life is like for an FI at Shared Services. Wendy.
I sure will. Thanks, Joe. This is pretty exciting. It's great. The only thing is that you can see me, but I can't see you. So good morning to everyone that's there. I hope you have a nice cup of coffee or a tall glass of water. These are really great sessions, and thank you to the ACFO for organizing them. Majoritairement, je vais y aller en anglais, sauf que vous pouvez poser vos questions, puis on peut vous répondre en français également. Okay, donc c'est libre à vous. The first thing is I'd like to present the people who make up the Financial Community Development team at Shared Services. And so we have our own team dedicated to the support of the FI community in our CFO branch. And so we have Lise Saint-Onge. So Lise is going to wave hello. And Lise, primarily, she's been one of the members for the longest time, and she is a dedicated Ford coordinator. So as a Ford recruit or as a supervisor of Ford, you are extremely well supported by Lise, all her efforts and all her knowledge about the Ford program. Our other member is Jessica Talbot. Jess, je pense you have to move a little bit or say something. I think, Joe, the screen turns red, and then that's when the camera switches, correct? All right, okay, perfect. So you saw a glimpse of Jess. Well, the first thing that comes to mind when I see Jess is a little ray of sunshine. And so we make sure to capture all of that in a monthly newsletter. And so one of the main things about our team is that we really promote communication within our branch. And so obviously all three of us, we work on different things, but we also work all together on the same things to provide great support for the FI community at our department, and also to support management into their staffing, into their daily activities as well. And so what to expect? Well, besides great support at Shared Services, there are, I think we're at 12 divisions now, which is a bit of a difference depending which department you're from, right? So we have very specific specialized divisions where you can gain a great amount of experience of different depth, and there's something for everybody. Just recently, we created a financial management evolution division. And so that one, I can't even really talk a lot about because it's brand new, but I know that it's very exciting with all the changes that have been happening at Shared Services in our finance branch. And so recently, what we've been working on is a career development program. It's called FORCE. And it works in French, force. Les lettres signifient la même chose. Donc, on a préparé ce programme de développement de carrière pour aider les gens qui travaillent à service partagé de grandir un peu plus dans leur carrière. C'est un programme qui ressemble sensiblement au AFOD du Conseil du Trésor. Cependant, on reste à l'intérieur de notre ministère. What we really like is to work with everyone and to try to answer their questions, to provide them with different opportunities. You know, you want to rotate, they come to us. One of the things that we also have at Shared Services within our finance branch is a branch business planning unit. and they help coordinate all the training. And so we are really well supported as FIs. We have groups of people that we can go to help us, when we're doing our professional development. So that's really great. À n'importe quel moment, les filles, là, faites-moi juste comme un petit gesticule s'il y a des choses que vous voulez dire. Obviously, I talked about the FOR program. I talked about our career development, our newsletter, but there's a lot more to supporting a financial community. There's ongoing selection processes, donc des processus de sélection. On enroule quand même un bon nombre. L'année dernière, on a roulé un FI2 à l'externe qui a vu 360 quelques applications, and we had a really good success with that pool. We've shared it across the board with all the government departments, and so that really helped a few managers outside of shared services to get new employees, and it helped the candidates land jobs across the country. So we are really a team player. We like to know what other departments are doing. We like to collaborate and share. If we're going to do come up with a standard or something, we really like to share. So we are a participant with the ACFO when they have their yearly meetings, and also with the Treasury Board. Et donc, on est une équipe assez énergisée, ou peut-être énergisante. Puis, on a différentes possibilités pour que vous puissiez développer vos compétences, que ça soit du côté technique. Il y en a qui aiment plus aller technique. Ça, c'est aussi possible. Et pour ceux qui veulent développer plus les soft skills, aller vers les compétences de leadership, de gestionnaire, de se développer de ce côté-là, on a plusieurs possibilités aussi. It all depends on what you like. And so if you like what you're hearing, I believe we have a team mailbox, and the address is available on the ACFO website. And so don't be afraid to write to us and send us your resume if this is something that interests you. Or if I just piqued your curiosity just a little bit, you can ask us questions. And also we have a form that we can make available where you just let us know what your areas of interest are. And we have a full list. There's quite a few there. And so if there's something that really interests you, we can keep that in our CV inventory and then let the managers know. Every now and again, we provide an update to the managers and say, hey, we have some great candidates here that you might want to chat with that might be a great fit for your team. I'm going to pause there for a little bit.
Oui,
so,
Wendy.
Je vois les questions là. I wasn't paying attention, I was looking at the camera.
Wendy, je voulais juste ajouter à ce que tu as dit au niveau du training. Nous trois, on est des filles, donc on se tient à jour sur toutes les nouvelles formations que justement l'ACFO peut offrir et qu'est-ce qui s'offre à l'intérieur de Shared Services, de services partagés. Donc pour nous, c'est important. Puis justement, on a une question au niveau du budget pour la formation pour les filles, là.
Wait, so does SSC have a training budget for each FI? So yes, we do. But even better than that, recently for the last 2 fiscal years, we've actually had our budget for training centralized with human resources. And so this has been an initiative from our president, really wanting to invest in the people, in the employees. And so we do have a training budget. Normally, we go through the same cycles as pretty much any department where you chat with your supervisor, you see what training interests you. And like Jessica mentioned, we get all the latest from the FMI, from the ACFO, from the school, and even from shared services, which, we have our own learning and development section within HR. And so there's a lot of training opportunities that are being offered. And so you can plan that out in your, when you plan out your work objectives with your supervisor, and then we can make it happen. Is there a set limit per employee? Right now, I can't speak to that because some people take less and some people can take more, but at least right now the budget is centralized, and for the last 2 years, I haven't heard of anyone who got turned down for training, which is really good. This next question that I see, can you talk more about the rotational program? Is that for all FI levels? So basically, if some of you are familiar with the Ford program, that's an entry level. It's a development program which brings FI1s into the FI2 level. Now, within our branch, what we like to do is offer rotation. So once in a while, we will launch a rotation call out, if you will. And so this enables people to say, hey, maybe I'd like to do a rotation. I've been an FMA for 3 or 4 years and I'd like to get a different experience. So that would be great, right? And so we sometimes do call outs for rotation. The FORCE program, which I was referring to earlier, that is, it's a program, right now we're in the development stage. So it's a pilot, we're running a pilot with a certain number of employees who have applied to the program. And so as we develop it, this program will enable selected employees, okay, people that have applied and that have the recommendation of their manager, and it will give them an opportunity to do different things, to rotate into different divisions and to acquire specific training that will meet not only, you know, the mandatory type of training as an FI and as a shared service employee, but also in their professional development and to, you know, increase their soft skills to become leaders, the leaders of tomorrow. So that right now, because it's a pilot, it was only offered to FI2s and 3s. With the recent changes to the FORD program, most likely, if this pilot is a go in the future, we will open it up to FI1s as well. As for the FI4s, we're going to have to work a little harder with HR because, as you know, if you are an FI4, the next level is a different category. It's the executive level, and so that would kind of necessitate different planning and perhaps different way of evaluation to be able to access the next level. And so, in short, yes, we do have rotations and they are for all levels. Like just the call outs for rotations, that's open to anyone. Hopefully that answers that question. La prochaine, are assignments / secondments possible with Ssc? I believe they are because we do, I mean, we are team players, so we do assignments and secondments with the outside as well. But yes, they are possible with Ssc. So if it is something that interests you, you can write to us. Again, these are things that can't happen overnight. You know, there needs to be some sort of informal meeting. If it's an at-level, obviously, informal meeting and possibly a best fit. And it all depends if the team that you're looking to get into is looking for someone. Mais oui, c'est absolument possible. Puis les assignments, qui est plus affectation, on en fait à l'intérieur également de services partagés, de notre direction générale. Does Ssc pay for CPA designation for strong employees? Strong employees. And so Ssc pays for CPA designation, period. And so this is part of our collective agreement. And so we do pay for the CPA designations. Is Ssc fully funded? Now that's an interesting question. So I'm going to tackle it a certain way, which it may answer or it may not answer. So over the few years that we've been in existence, we can't say we're a new department anymore. We've played that card a lot. However, we've kind of always been moving and changing, okay? Not necessarily transforming, but we're adapting, right? As Ssc's mandate increases and changes, the FI community has to change alongside to be able to provide, you know, effective financial services to support the department. And so our branch is fully funded, if you will, but as we change, sometimes our budget will increase and allow for new positions to be created in order to properly fulfill, our mandate towards shared services. So hopefully that kind of answers your question. The next one, what level of FIs are you currently looking for? Ben, en ce moment, peut-être qu'il y en a qui ont vu, we have just launched an FI3 last week. I can't say for sure that it has closed last night. We're looking into that right now after this little session. And so I would say right now we are looking for FI3s. However, there's movement. People have career goals. Some people retire. Some people go on maternity leave. So you know how it is, right? So sometimes there's a domino effect. We run one process and then it just creates a vacancy at the level right before it. And so we're pretty much, we're open to all the levels at pretty much any point of time. Right now, specifically today, mostly, I would say mostly FI3s. J'ai entendu, y a-t-il quelqu'un d'autre qui veut répondre? I feel like I'm hogging the camera. Lise, est-ce que y a-t-il quelque chose? No? We're good? On continue? All right, okay, they gave me the thumbs up. J'ai entendu que l'organisation des unités des FMA est matricielle. Pouvez-vous élaborer plus si c'est encore le cas? All right. Donc, en ce moment, c'est un peu difficile pour moi de parler d'une équipe spécifique. J'ai fait partie des FMA là, 2-3 ans. Et puis, de la façon dont on fonctionne, c'est effectivement, tu as un FI4 qui, son client va être un sous-ministre adjoint ou un sous-ministre adjoint principal. Et l'équipe sous ce FI4-là va avoir les clients qui sont sous le sous-ministre adjoint attitré. Et donc, on fonctionne de cette façon-là. Cependant, l'équipe des FMA travaille également en collaboration avec l'équipe de casting, disons. On a également une nouvelle division qui a été créée, ça doit faire à peu près presque 2 ans. C'est une équipe de gestion financière des projets. Et donc, parce qu'on avait une direction générale qui était attitrée plus de façon matricielle, comme que la question le mentionnait, parce que cette direction générale-là traitait des projets. Et donc, on a donné un support FME directement pour s'assurer que les budgets des projets vont aux bonnes divisions qui vont fournir le service. Donc, en ce moment, l'équipe des FMA est encore selon par client, OK, par direction générale, il y a une équipe attitrée, mais l'équipe de gestion financière des projets ajoute l'élément matriciel à l'intérieur de ça. Oh, lots of questions. Okay, what are the main challenges for the financial office branch at Ssc? Keep up? I think, yeah, is to ensure that we're always not one step ahead. It's hard to stay one step ahead of IT stuff, right? Because IT, as you know, it changes quite a lot. It changes almost constantly, right? That's almost the constant is that it changes. And so to ensure, we really need our FIs to know their clients and know the mandate, know our business to provide that service, right? And so that's why I believe we were kind of separated in more divisions, perhaps, than another department to ensure that, we have our focus is on everything that's necessary, right? We have a financial strategies division. Maybe nowadays it's more popular, but it wasn't something that was there 5 years ago. We have the Financial Management Evolution Division. Costing is separate. FMA is separate. We also have a separate Internal Controls Division so that we can focus on the ICFM, ITD, anyway, the internal controls on financial management. And so I believe that our challenge is to ensure that we're keeping up with the mandate of our department so we can properly serve our clients and our department. Does Ssc have a high turnover of FIs? Well, I believe that in the last 2 years, it's been going down. We used to, I would say, have a pretty much, especially when it was setting up, right? After the first 3-4 years of existence, some people were like, okay, this environment is really constantly changing. I would like something a little more slow pace. And then, but I have to say that many people who actually left to maybe get a bit of a break, if you want, they all came back. And so I guess the environment is exciting and it just keeps you thinking, keeps you on your toes, which is really important. You need to be learning all the time kind of thing, right? And so we really provide an environment like that.
Yes.
And we really listen.
If I can add something, Wendy?
Yeah, I just don't want to forget one thing, so go ahead.
It just also that we grow up a lot. There's a lot of new divisions, so we are looking for FIs also because we need more people for different projects, different purpose. So yes, we have like the natural turnover, but we have new position also available that made the need for.
Yeah, exactly. That's true, right? And one of the things that I wanted to mention regarding the turnover of staff is management has really listened to the employee survey results. And that's why a few years back, they said, no, we need a dedicated team to our FI community. And so that's how the three of us came together as a team to ensure that we're really listening to the pulse, what's happening with the employees, and to, get people to, we support them in getting where they want to be and where they want to go. So we're really listening for that as well. At what FI level is bilingualism imperative? The tricky question. Okay, so just leave that one on the screen, Joe. The next, because it's a little long. Are you open to hiring FIs outside the NCA? So I'm believing that's NCR, the National Capital Region. So yes, we are, obviously. Anyone who's working in the government right now are working from their home office, whichever, what it is it your kitchen or whatever? So we're definitely open to hiring outside. We've even increased our presence in the regions over the last couple of years. And so that it's not a barrier, if you will. And so, yeah, definitely open. Okay, at what level is bilingualism imperative? So let's put aside a couple of divisions like systems and internal controls, where these are really specific experiences, right? We need people that are up to the task, up to that level of expertise. And so in some cases, those divisions will see their FI3s, okay? The majority of FI3s have supervision. And so the position would need to be CBC, but in some cases, our FI3 positions can be BBB. However, that being said, I needed to make that parenthèse, okay? But in all fairness, when you're talking about FI3s and FI4s, the majority of our positions are CBC. There's little exceptions at the FI4 level, maybe for positions that have been in existence for a long time since the transfer and that will be transferring out when that person retires, things like that. But we're looking at FI3 and above is a CBC. We also have some FI2s that are supervisors, especially in accounting operations where you have big teams. And so certain FI2 positions would also find themselves to be CBC. Lise, is there something you want to add par rapport à cette question-là?
Non, mais pas nécessairement, mais peut-être, je pense que Joe regarde à finir peut-être la séance, mais peut-être pour répéter aux gens que c'est en ligne, our address for the community is still online, but if you look also at the meeting chat on the side, we added it over there, but we saw it, Wendy, on the side, but I don't know if the participants could. No, they can't?
No, just us.
Okay, so
Yeah,
then, I mean, feel free all to
that,
come back to us for any questions or anything, where you will be more than welcome to reach us.
Yeah, thanks very much, Lise, and thanks very much, Wendy and Jessica. I will say You guys have made this the easiest session I've had so far. I just got to sit back and watch you take the questions, so that was fantastic. As Lise was saying, yeah, so the email address for the Shared Services Finance community, you can find it on the ACFO website, along with a CV template. I know they've made a very compelling case for all of you to start throwing resumes at them, but as we mentioned on the site, take a few minutes, craft that email specifically for SSC, say what it was about this presentation that caught your eye, what it is about the department that interests you. And I just want to say, Wendy, Lise, and Jessica, thank you very much for your participation today. These sessions don't work if we don't have active and enthusiastic participants, and we certainly did this morning. So for those sticking around, our next session is with the corporate services team at Treasury Board, which kicks off in about 5 minutes. Once again, thank you, Wendy, Lise, Jessica, and everyone have themselves a wonderful day. Thank you very much.
Bonne journée. Merci.
Bye. Bye-bye.